Hey, Troy.
Hey Bart, thanks for having me back.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
Next Wednesday is going to be 55 degrees. It's construction weather, isn't it?
yeah, it's about that time. You know, we've actually got things have already started.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been going on for a week. I mean, it's a slow start, but it's an early start. Things are happening.
It's a head start.
Yeah, there you go. Well, there's a lot to do this year, so.
Well, those MDOT people, they've been going all winter over at that bridge.
Yeah,
downtown.
they've been going hard.
Yeah.
And then we've got our things have. We got a couple of jobs where they, like our traffic signal jobs, where they've started. The electricians have started putting in conduit, drilling it into place. We've been doing our tree removals, getting out ahead of the bats on our tree removals for all of our projects yet this year. So things are happening.
Yeah, that's interesting. I just learned this this past winter. Troy was talking about the plans for MLK, and you have just a certain window of time where you can remove trees because of the protected bat species that live in them.
We got, you know, obviously when we're doing work, sometimes trees just have to come down, you know, to make room for street or concrete work. We have to have trees. Trees have to be taken down, you know, in March, or we have to wait till October to take them down. Between April and say September, you can't, because endangered bats will come and nest in those trees, and we certainly don't want to impact the endangered species. So we just have to. It's not that big of a deal. We just plan around it. It doesn't keep us from doing anything. It just makes us have to be a little smarter about it. Yes, the tree still comes down, but you know, we don't want to take trees down while there's bats in them.
No.
No.
And by the way, if you do, will you take the bats with you?
No, we don't. We just do everything we can to not impact the bats.
Better in the trees than in our attics.
Right.
Well, we do have, as you mentioned, a couple of things underway. Let's take a look. First, we'll go to Lansing Avenue between, let's see, corner of Lansing and Monroe, I think we're...
Yeah. Well, like I was saying, we've got several locations this year where we're upgrading the traffic signals. Got some grant money and with a little match money. And a lot of these traffic signals, you know, they're 40, 50 years old, and it's time. And when the opportunity came across to get them funded, we did.
Are you putting the black arms in?
On some of them we are, some of them we're not. I think this one up here on Lansing and Monroe, we are. But, you know, it's not just, they do look better, but, you know, we're also upgrading all the signal heads. They're the LED lights. And then more importantly, we're upgrading all the controllers to modern controllers. And so that's what's going on. But we're doing that. We've probably got about 6 locations around the city where we're doing that this year, doing traffic signal work.
Besides bringing them up to current standards, are they brighter? Are they more efficient?
Yeah, when they're LED, they're brighter. They basically they're more reliable too with the modern controllers. They give us more flexibility in terms of making changes, but they're just more reliable. They don't go down as quickly. They're easier to get back up and running. You know what people probably don't realize is, you know, usually they work so well you take them for granted. Just like when you turn on your water, you don't think of all the work that goes into the water. On these traffic signals, they're pretty much always working for you when you go through there, right? When one goes down, we get one of our technicians out there immediately to do whatever repairs got to be done and you know, get them fixed.
You hardly ever see a light out.
No, there's a kind of a humorous story. Several years ago, we had an incident where a young person had hit a signal in the middle of the night, probably doing something stupid, I don't know what, but the signal went down. Our traffic technicians came in the middle of the night, you know, put up new signals, put up a new pole, put up a new signal, and then it was done. It was up and running. Well, later, you know, as it goes through the process and collections come to collect on that, and you know, the insurance company has to do it, the dad of this kid calls up and says, it never happened. I went out there the next morning, and the signal, it wasn't down. It was working just fine. Well, that's because we got it done that quickly, you know.
Wow.
But, you know, when it comes to public safety, I mean, we take the signals for granted because they're there, but it can be very dangerous when they're not working, so we don't mess around. Same thing if we get a report of a stop sign gets hit or something. Someone comes in immediately and gets that up. So that story's humorous, but it also shows how serious we take these things, right?
Yeah, makes sense. All right, another project, we're going to Quarry Street now, where we had the JTV production crew out. Well, you had your crew out.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a continuation of what we have talked about for several years. We're replacing water mains where they need it. Specifically, like on Quarry, it's an undersized water main. It's an old 4-inch water main from the 20s. But there's two parts of those projects. We replace the water main and then replace all the lead services up and down those blocks. So we're trying to get new pipe in the ground, and then we're going to get the lead service out of those houses. So this is part of a bundle of, I think, 12 different streets.
Are you going to redo the surface, or just the area you're dug
We'll
up?
just be patching up the areas that get dug up. You know, it's not these are not street projects. These are just water projects. We don't have street money into them. You know, people aren't being assessed for these. These are projects being paid for with a combination of like federal grant money and water money that's generated when people pay their water bills. So,
We got a letter that you're going to do something here, hook up something.
was it? I don't think it was for me.
It was from the city. I don't know
Yeah.
what department, but
Well, I know
it was the lead pipe thing.
Basically, it's the lead pipe thing. We're required to replace all the lead pipes over time. It's a 20-year period, and so pretty much every building that has an old lead pipe is going to be replaced. And those buildings that don't have lead pipes, we're still going to want to go into those buildings and verify there's no lead, fill out a report that there's no lead, and be able to have a record of that. You know, we don't want to just, you know, on some of these jobs, I'll get the phone call and some guy will say, "Oh, I don't have lead in my basement. You don't need to do this." Well, let us come down and document that and get it on the record so that it's out of our database. Not just that it's not lead, but it's confirmed.
All right.
And we understand what it is, that it is copper or that it is PVC.
You're welcome in our basement anytime.
Yeah.
Yes. And you,
At some point, somebody will be down there and they're going to be looking at it.
yeah, they said they're coming, and we gave them permission, so we'll have the tea kettle on for you.
There you go.
Maybe some scones. The MLK, you're gonna start. part
We're
one
still
of
on
that?
track. That bids are being taken for that in March. The first Friday of March, we'll have bids prices. So if we get bids in March, get the contract awarded in April, probably be starting construction in May. So yeah, it's you know, we've been talking about it for several years now, but the rubber's about to meet the road real quick. You know.
Great. Well, we appreciate the updates. Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, City of Jackson engineer Troy White. Well, we've got some